Thanks for joining me. This is Danny, and welcome back to my Real Tech series, episode number 6. And this is our second Tinkers episode, in which we are going to be making some weapons that don't require me to hit this zombie 4 times in order to kill it. And then we're also going to get into some of the more advanced tools, such as the hammer and the lumber axe. And we're also going to fix the pollution problems in the smeltery. And we're going to start by putting cobalt and ardite together in here. We'll start with 4. So that actually is going to end up making us 8 manuline. The rest of the ardite I'm going to put somewhere else. Maybe I'll put it in here. Because the only place we'll ever need ardite is in the smeltery, but because I want to make some cobalt stuff, I don't want it in the smeltery with my cobalt, or it'll turn it into ardite. I mean, it'll turn it into manuline. Alright, now I'm going to make myself a weapon. And my absolute favorite early game weapon is the rapier. The rapier is very, very, very fast. I mean, you can almost spam click it. What's nice about it is if we make it in a particular way, we can get it up to the point where we can 2-hit mobs with it. And because it's a very fast 2-hit, we can basically walk up to a creeper and go boom, boom, and it'll be dead. So that's what I'm interested in. Later on, I'm going to make a cleaver. That's my other favorite one, but that's a much more expensive weapon and probably not something that we're going to be able to afford quite yet. And we can't make it in this table. We're going to be making a tool forge later, which is kind of the upgraded version of the tool station, which will allow us to make more stuff. But for now, we're going to make this rapier, which requires a tool rod, a sword blade, and a cross guard. So again, we're going to go to our stencil table. We're going to get we already have a tool rod pattern. What was it, cross guard? No, cross guard, there we go. So the cross guard, I'm going to make that out of paper, which if we want to get a 2-hit weapon, we have to make that out of paper. And we need a sword blade pattern. Now the sword blade I'm going to be making out of manulin. That's going to give us the best damage at this point. So I'm going to first make a wood one, I guess. We could make it out of stone. We could make it out of whatever the cheapest material that you have on hand is. We're going to get our aluminum brass, and we're going to make ourselves a cast again. And then I'm going to take the manulin, and we're going to make this out of manulin. And while we're waiting for that, the cross guard I'm going to make out of paper. So we're going to need 4 paper for that, because again, each paper is 1/4 of a part. So you can see that took 4 pieces of paper, and then we're going to make the tool rod out of sticks again, or out of wood. You can use sticks. You can also use like logs, whatever. It'll give you shards of wood back if it's too much. Okay, so there's our rod, there's that, and there's our blade. So when we first put this thing together, oh no, we are not using wood for this. We are using bone. I almost forgot. Oh boy, I'm glad I caught that, because bone is going to add some damage. What the heck is going on? Okay, so 1 bone will be required for this, and you'll be able to see if we do this that when we use the wood rod, or pretty much any other rod, we have an attack damage of 5.8. If we use this, it brings it up to 6.62, and then because we're using the paper crossguard, we have 4 modifiers, and we are going to use every one of those for damage. Our normal overworld mobs have 10 hearts, which is 20 points. So we would want an attack damage of at least 10 if we want to be able to 2-hit. Anything more than 10, it doesn't really matter unless it's 20, which will get us 1 hitting. Anything less than 10 is going to require a 2-hit. So right now we're doing 6.94 because we're adding a little bit of nether quartz, but not quite enough to bring it to use a full modifier, because that's all the nether quartz I have. So I'm going to go out and get some nether quartz, and I'll be right back. Actually, before I go out and get the nether quartz, I'm going to make a hammer, because that will make getting the nether quartz much easier. I need to make a tool forge in order to open up some of the more like later game tools in Tinkers. So I'm going to throw 12 cobblestone in here eventually in order to make some seared stone. Actually, I only need that much because I already had 1. So I'm going to click the seared stone, and I'm going to put it in here, and then we're going to be able to get blocks of seared stone, which we can actually use to make our smeltery bigger also. Why is that polluting out in the front? So there's our first And we can put this in a crafting grid if we want different things, like the seared bricks, which is what we have here. We do require 4 cobblestone for each brick, because each cobblestone will get us 1 like brick, like brick item brick, and then we put 4 of those together to get a brick block. So to make the tool forge, we're going to need 4 blocks of some kind of metal. Whatever we happen to have the most of, or it depends what we want it to look like, I guess. I'm probably gonna go with gold just because we have a lot of gold. We have a lot of iron also, but we use that for a lot more stuff. So I think we're gonna go with a gold one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. So 3 seared bricks that we just made in the smeltery, our tool station, and the tool forge. Or will get us the tool forge. And then we put that in place of that, and now we can see we have lots more options. So we're going to make a hammer. The hammer is going to require a tough tool rod, a hammerhead, and 2 large plates. Each one of these 3 requires 8 ingots. So we're going to have to get 24 ingots of some kind of metal. And then the tough tool rod, again, I'm probably just going to make that out of wood. Although there are certainly other options. I screwed up, by the way. I was pouring out my bricks, and I poured out an extra one. I ended up pouring out my manulin into the casting basin. Now, there's no way to get that out of there, other than by adding more. So I have to make more manulin in order to get that manulin back. So while that's going on, I'm going to decide what I'm going to make this stuff out of. I really want to make it out of cobalt, but that means I'm going to have to go back into the nether. Okay, I'm back in the nether, but this time I have a much better weapon. So hopefully I won't die this time. I really want some more cobalt, so that's why I'm here, getting some cobalt. Ah, okay. One more. And then we're out of here. Remember the days when cobalt used to be really, really hard to find and really rare? It's definitely not very rare anymore. It's a lot easier to find than it used to be. But I am really freaking hot, so I gotta make this quick. Oh, okay. Ardite, I'm not going to worry so much about right now. I don't use Ardite as much as cobalt. We're definitely going to want some more at some point because we're going to want more manulin in the future, but I just need to get out of here right now. Because, oh, there is a freaking creeper. A nitro creep. Oh, no, I'm really hot. Okay, I can't run. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. He saw me, and those guys are really freaking fast, and they blow up instantly. No, no, get away from me. Get away from me. There. Phew. Right, here's my hammer. And so I have a cobalt hammerhead. This is going to give it a fairly high mining speed. It's still not as high as I'd like it, but we'll take care of that. I've got one of the plates is copper. This gives us the well-established, which means we gain XP from just about every block that we break. No, not just about. From every block that we break. So when we break stone with this hammer, we're going to get XP from it. So that'll be nice, especially if I keep dying in the nether. I'm going to want to get my XP back. And then I've got iron. This adds, as a head, it adds magnetic 2. So that means that when we break blocks, they're going to pull toward us. So it's like kind of having a magnet ring, except that it only activates after we break blocks, which is perfect, right? So then you don't have it, you're not pulling stuff unless you just broke a bunch of stuff. And then we're using Ardite. Now this gives us the Petramore. When you use Ardite as a handle, for one, it's giving us a little extra durability because it has a handle modifier of 1.4. But what's nice, your tool loves stone. It literally wants to absorb it for durability. All right, there's our hammer. So now, of course, if you're not familiar with the hammer, what this is going to do is it's going to break blocks like that a pickaxe can break in a 3x3 area. So, like here, like that. Nice. And you can see we got XP just from the stone that we broke. So now all I want to do is make this faster. So we're going to need, it's a good thing that we had that fortune when we went and got our redstone, because we're going to need a lot of freaking redstone for this. And as you can see, our durability is, we only lost 10 durability there, even though we broke 18 blocks, because of the petramore. And also, the cobalt gives us momentum. So the mining speed may only be 3.53, but if we break a whole bunch of blocks in succession, so if we're doing like a tunnel, which we will be doing very soon as we look for our quartz, we're going to be going faster and faster and faster and faster as long as we don't stop. But I want even faster. I want fast, fast, fast. For hammers, that's the main thing I want, is speed. So we've got 3 modifiers. I'm probably going to use them all on speed. Because, so now we're already up to, let's see, 5.95, and then this next level will bring us up to 7.98. I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to take a quick look at the modifiers. I don't think there's any others that I want on a hammer. I don't want fortune on a hammer, because we're going to be using this to strip mine. And then when we find the stuff that we want, then we use our pickaxe that has the fortune or the luck 3 on it to actually mine the stuff that where fortune actually matters. Let's see how fast this is with 2 modifiers of speed. It's pretty fast. To be honest, that is pretty freaking fast. Of course, we could make it faster. I think what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to put a diamond on it, because it's not going to give us as much more speed as another set of redstone would, but it will add to durability as well. We could put an emerald on it to add even more durability. Where are we at with durability? 18, okay. Yeah, that might not be such a bad idea, because if we're using this thing for a long time, so like if we add another set of redstone on it, we're going to bring our speed up to 9.6. That's a pretty nice boost. But if we, so we're at 7.98. If we add a diamond, it's going to bring us up to 8.18, but it's also going to add quite a bit of durability. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. The emerald would have given us even more durability, but it wouldn't add the speed. It also added to our attack damage too. We're not really going to be using this as a weapon, but it's, you know, it's a decent weapon. 6.76. It's actually better than, or almost as good as our rapier is right now. Here we go. Nice. Oh, of course. We have to run into that. Ooh, hooray, I found it. Nice. So let's see how much we get. So we now have 3 quartz, and we've got our fortune 3 or our luck 3 pick. Oh, we only got 1 that time. What? What? Oh, this is disappointing. Oh, okay. So sometimes we get a couple, sometimes we only get 1. Oh, that's how we got 4. Wow. 4 again. Nice. Nice. We got 6 stacks of nether quartz from this one vein. Let's make this weapon a little bit more powerful. Just going to throw all the nether quartz in there. So our first modifier is going to get us up to... Oh, wait a minute. To sharper. 8.63. We have one modifier to go, and we're up to 9.51, which still isn't enough to hit mobs, so that's why we needed that paper thing, and now we're up to 10.36. Nice, but that used almost all of that nether quartz. But we now have a really powerful weapon where we can 2-hit just about any overworld mobs. Hooray! And even nether mobs too. Now I'm going to make a ranged weapon, and I've decided I'm going to make a shuriken. I don't usually make these, I usually make the bows, but the shurikens are really nice weapons for a few reasons. I've done bows almost every time. I usually do the short bow because it's fast and it does a decent amount of damage, and then I do the bolts. I've done that in so many other episodes and other series, so if you want to see me do that, you certainly can. But the shuriken is a slightly shorter range weapon, but it still has a pretty good range, and it's really fast. So if you get a shuriken that does a decent amount of attack damage, you can mow down mobs pretty quickly with it. And what's nice about it is you don't have to carry bolts around with you, or arrows or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 3 heads, or 3. Basically, the shuriken is just 4 knife blades. So if you do all 4 manually, you'll get a pretty high attack damage. I think it's like 7.8. I'm swapping one out for paper, so to give us extra modifiers. It gives us 2 extra modifiers. Otherwise, we would only have 3. And that's actually going to give us a higher damage if we use those modifiers with nether quartz, which is what I'm going to do. I want to get this, again, just like the other one, just like the rapier, I want to get this thing up to at least 10 attack damage. So we don't have enough nether quartz on us, but I'm going to use what we have, get it up to 8.57. I'm going to go grab some more nether quartz, and then I'm going to add some durability to it. But you can see that is a fast range weapon. And we can pick them up, and we get our durability back. But right now it's at a durability of 65. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put an emerald on it. An emerald will give us more durability, or a diamond. A diamond would give us a little bit more attack and durability. So, and I think we're. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. What? That was one of our villagers. Oh, he still had his name and everything. Crazy. Oh, I didn't use my shuriken. Anyway, so this is almost going to end up being a better weapon than our rapier. It's going to be faster, and then we'll be able to get them from far away, too. Okay, so in this case, the diamond gives us more durability anyway. And look at that, it brings us up to 9.27. Look at that. I just got back from another quartz run. I got almost 7 stacks that time. So let's use our next modifier. That brings us up to 10.97. So we are now at 10.97. We can 2-hit any mobs. I'll have to decide what I want to do with that last modifier. Of course, we can quartz it up again, and we'll end up with 12.07. But that isn't really going to help all that much. So I'd rather save that modifier for something else. There's some things we could add, like fire to it. We could add knockback with a piston, I believe it is. We could add beheading, which might not be a terrible idea if we want to go, like get wither skulls and stuff like that in the future. Ooh, that might be nice, actually. Necrotic bone. Heal when dealing damage. Add more bones to increase it, because in this pack, we don't heal our hearts automatically. We have to have some. We heal a little bit when we sleep. We heal a little bit. So yeah, that might not be a bad idea, because basically when we deliver damage to other people, we take some of that on. We take some of their hearts to replace our own. So that, add more bones to increase the heal, multiple levels. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now it's time to make one of my favorite tools so that I can get rid of that whole tree system in one fall swoop. So this is what I decided on for a lumber axe. We've got iron and copper for the head, so that's going to give us well established, so we'll get some extra XP, and the iron will get us magnetic, so that the logs will come and we'll pull those in. The durite we're getting from the obsidian tough binding. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to give us more durability. It doesn't show in the durability, but how it works is sometimes when it breaks blocks, it just doesn't consume durability, so it ends up lasting longer. And then we have the wooden tough rod to give us a little auto repair, which is good for this tool because it's something that I use just once in a while, and it'll have plenty of time because it's a really, really slow auto repair. I'm going to speed it up right away because it's pretty slow at 1.98. Yeah, 4.27, so that's pretty fast already. And we have 2 modifiers left. You know what? I'm going to use one more of them for speed. I'm not sure what I'll do with the last one quite yet. Maybe I'll put a diamond on it. Actually, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a diamond on it for durability. Ooh, we're running low on diamonds. Actually, let's compare that to an emerald. The diamond should give us a little extra speed too, but I think it's going to be fast enough already. So if we do a diamond, ooh, wow, look at that durability. It almost doubles our durability, and we're up to 6.4 speed, which is just a slight speed. It also increases the attack quite a bit, but we're not going to be attacking with this thing. That gives us less. Okay, so I guess we will do the diamond, and that'll be it for that. So let's take on, oh, that one let's take on the biggest tree we can find here. It should find, oh wow, okay, that was weird. I had a weird leg issue there. Okay, but yep, yay, cut down the whole tree. Nice. This is beautiful. So then what I do, the nice thing about this is now I can have a tree farm where basically I have all of the things. It's actually pretty fast for something that cuts down an entire tree. Like what I did over here, although I didn't finish this one. So if it's not a tree, it's just going to do a 3x3x3 area. But over here, we can just plant a bunch of saplings together, and then when they grow, they're going to grow as one huge cluster of trees that we'll be able to break with a single swing. Whoops. And as you can see, we still have, wow, a lot of durability left. And that will repair itself while we're waiting, or while we're waiting for the next set of trees to grow. By the way, when you have a tool that has multiple heads, you can repair it using any one of the materials of that head. So our hammer, we can use cobalt, iron, or copper. Of course, I'm going to use iron because I got a lot of it. If you use more than one, it'll actually be more efficient. So it'll do more repair per ingot if we do like one iron and one cobalt or one copper or whatever. Okay, there's a creeper down there. Nice. 2 hits. Yay. Oh, and you can put this in the offhand also. All right. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Nice. It's so fast. Hey, you. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay, and the ones I missed I can pick up just like with arrows. All right, let's see how far this range is. Yeah, look at that. Okay. And it shoots straight, too. I don't know why it says short range, because it's got a pretty good range. Oh, crap. Yeah, even at close range, it works pretty decently. Oh, I might not even need that rapier anymore. Now, of course, I have more stuff I want to do with tinkers, but we're kind of out of time today. I want to make a rapier, or not a rapier, I want to make a mattock at some point, because we can use this as a hoe. We can also use it to break dirt, and we can use it to break wood. So it's like an axe and a shovel, although it only breaks dirt. It doesn't break like sand or anything like that. So, but it's nice to have a tool that only takes up one slot that can do multiple things. You may have noticed that every once in a while, pollution would end up in the smeltery. And when a pollution block, because we have pollution of the realms, ends up in the smeltery while you're smelting something, it pops everything out, and then you have to start all over again, and it just drops the items on the ground, and it's kind of a pain. So I added this brick chimney to the side of the smeltery controller, because the controller block is the block that the pollution emits from, and it prevented it from happening most of the time, but still every once in a while it would still happen. And the reason for that is because pollution of the realms has 2 different types of emissions. One of them is carbon emissions, which we can see right here. These are probably coming from our torches in the room. And then it also has sulfur emissions. Now the smeltery emits both. And what'll happen is only one pollution block, or emissions block basically, can go in a chimney at a time. So if the smeltery ends up emitting both a carbon and a sulfur emission at the same time, it'll end up putting one in the chimney, and the other will just end up somewhere randomly. It may end up in here, or it'll end up inside the smeltery. So we're going to fix that right now. We're going to need a single pump, we're going to need a couple of vents, and we're going to need some more chimneys. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 chimneys hooked up to our smeltery controller. And of course, we can only access this thing from the side over here. And if we access it from the front, if we put another chimney on the front, well, then we won't be able to get at the smeltery controller, and that's no good. So here's what I ended up doing, because I wanted to keep this casting basin here, so I didn't want to run vents that way. So I ran I've got two chimneys, both together on one side of the smeltery. And as you can see, they're both smoking. You need to be able to see smoke coming out of the chimneys. If you didn't, then something's not set up correctly. So I've got a pump, and what a pump allows you to do is basically bring stuff down. So we put a pump on the bottom of the smeltery controller, and that will pump smoke or emissions or whatever down into the pump and then into any nearby vents. So I've got vents over here, brick vents, and then I've got the two chimneys just on the other side of those vents. So the actually, let me break a couple blocks here so you can see. So basically the vents just go right into the chimney. So I have chimney blocks here, and then both of those chimney blocks, as we can see from the bottom, have smoke rising from them, coming from our smeltery. So now if we smelt something, let's do something that takes a long time like cobalt, we should see that we should never end up with any emissions in the smeltery or in this room. From that, of course, we have emissions over here from this torch, but we can see smoke rising, and every once in a while we'll see stuff coming up from those chimneys. But if two blocks end up being produced at the same time, two emissions blocks, they'll just go up the chimney, just like that. Hooray! So a couple things to note. The pumps do require a redstone signal, so I've got a lever on the bottom here. I don't know why you would ever want to turn one off. So like, you just set it up, you put the lever on it, and it'll just always have a redstone signal. The vents, of course, like I said, they will move smoke vertically, and then the chimneys will move them up. If you do have any questions or comments or ideas or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. That's actually pretty big, isn't it, in my hand? In the next episode, we're going to be playing with Construct's Armory, so we're going to be making some armor from Tinkers. It's actually an add-on mod called Construct's Armory, and we'll be playing with that in the next episode, and we're going to replace this iron armor for some other armor that's going to give us lots of really, really cool effects. And one of the things I'm most excited about is that we can get step assist. Hooray! I love step assist. So I hope you join me for that. If you do have any questions, comments, or ideas or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button and join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.